Surviving.
Yeah, isn't it nice to be 5 o'clock and the sun is still out? It's not like all dark and everything. That's so nice. Hey, so I'm gonna turn my light on. Hold on a second, folks. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do tonight. You know, we have gone through all the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 of cycle 2. And what I want to do tonight is I want to not, labor over this with me doing a bunch of talking, but I want to hear from you. If we were in the classroom, we've been doing a lot of peer-to-peer stuff, but there's just, it just kind of doesn't work well over Zoom. But I want to know, one, and I know you guys don't like, you all don't like talking to me, I know I'm the bad guy here.
I'll be right back. I'm just collecting my highlighter.
Okay, good. And so I want to know where you are, what you're doing, whether you've completed step 1, whether you're working on step 1, whether what you've done with step 2 in the videos. I really just want to hear from you tonight. And I think whatever you share, and I see your hands up, I'll be taking them. And then, whatever you share could really be an asset to your brothers and sisters here who would love to hear what you're doing. And they can say, oh, well, I was doing. So I want to try to open this and make it a conversation. And if I can answer questions, then I'll answer questions. But I want to hear your voices and find out where you are and what's going on with you. Because, and then Zachary, I'll say this and then I'll turn over to you. You all know we're in the month of, this is March. And then April 14th is our submission day. That's the day that you should have paid your $150. You should have registered on the CTC website. And then you can be ready to shove your information into the window really before the 14th or on the 14th very early, so you can go through the process of the video being slowly uploaded and all that good stuff. So I want to know where you are, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want to hear your voice. And Zachary, you had your hand up. Talk to me, brother.
I just wanted to say I am.
Wait, Zachary, hold on. First, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate your voice. Talk to me, Zachary.
We just talking with like my English department, or like my English cohorts. we've all kind of been starting our CalTPAs. None of us have really like gotten into the meat of it, but I definitely have. I think a lot of us have things planned out. Including myself. We have everything planned out. We just need to make sure we just get all the meat of it done, right? Like the just typing. We have it all planned out. We just need to type it out.
Okay.
And film those videos.
Okay. So are you feeling
all right, thank you. I gotta do this class real quick.
Yeah, you gotta go. Brian, what are you doing, man? Okay, so Zachary, are you feeling safe and comfortable? Do you feel like you have the tools and the information to help facilitate building that evidence?
Yeah, I think that the rubric, their CalTPA assessment guide has been super helpful. I've been reading over it, and that pretty much gives me all the information I need. There's even hyperlinks to put you to information that you don't understand. So it's been pretty clear. I went ahead and planned everything out, but like I said, between lesson planning and just being in the classroom this semester, it's been really tough to get that information in. Luckily, we have a couple weeks coming up that should be lighter. I'm not sure how everyone else feels about that, but we have spring break coming up for Cal State Fullerton, and we have spring break coming up in our classes. So I hope that gives me enough time to kind of get everything submitted.
Okay. Zachary, thank you so much for your voice. I really appreciate hearing from you. Okay.
Thank you for your time, Quentin. I really do appreciate it. I know it's not easy being here, and I appreciate it's not an easy thing to explain. So I do appreciate you.
Oh, you're cool, man. Thank you so much, brother. Brendan, talk to me.
Just to share with the whole class right now, like I think I was able to get my annotations done. Like I've actually been collaborating with like one or two other students, like making sure that, you know, everything is looking good and all right, which I also did for cycle 1. And like, I got the teaching of the lesson done. Right now, I'm just trying to grade. Hopefully it'll be done by this Friday. That way, starting this weekend, I can start on step 3 and then do step 4. And then, like, that's why I was talking to you earlier about step 4, just to make sure that I have clarification, because I know what I'm planning to do for the extension, since most of my students, like, some of them still haven't turned in the assignment, but for the ones I have graded, most of them have passed and done, like, either exceeded expectations or met expectations, like A, B, C range. And yeah, so hopefully I'm just
Okay.
planning for next Wednesday to film the video. So that's
Okay.
where I am.
Very good, Brendan, and thank you so much for your voice. Nice hearing from you. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share or talk to me? Or Moises, how are you, brother?
Good, man. It's tired, exhausting.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got done talking with my advisor for the TPEs, and that wasn't super clear, so I finally got that cleared. So the TPE, now I have that kind of set up already. I think I have a good idea what to do.
Okay.
But it just feels like to do the TPAs on top of the TPEs and then lesson planning and then classes, like, oh man.
Well,
it's a lot of work. I got kids too, so you know.
It's a lot of work, but you know, you can't get around this, and you have to find a way to get this done, because this intertwines your life. And if you can get this done, then you can keep moving forward with your life. So I know you can do it. I have faith in you, and just stay the course, brother. Okay.
Yeah, I do have just one question. Like, let's say if all of a sudden, like, we had our TPA cycle 2 done in, like, let's say May, like we're we know we're shooting for April, but let's just say we're going for May. Like, could we still submit it like for June?
Yes, you can submit it in June, but you know, the thing is, you know, do you want to, you know?
I don't want to only this over it, but it seems like really
my
like
my thing is, Moises, and then I'm gonna drop you and jump to somebody else.
All right, I get it.
but my thing is, and you know, you're my boy, so you know.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you have to get this done, and it's better if you can get this done in this window and just be done with it. But you know what? You know, that's all I can say. And I encourage you to get it done in this time frame. All right.
And
it's always nice to hear from you, brother. Thank you for sharing. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Ellie, how are you? It's so nice to see you. How are you?
Hi, Robinson. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. And that's so cool. You call me Robinson. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm on a roller coaster. So always up and down with like my emotions, with how I'm feeling about like my class and the CalTPA and all that. But I'm so thankful for the people around me, because there's a lot of great support, and that's what helps me stay on track. So, I mean, the work, like I relate with Moises a lot. It is a lot, but when there's like focus, it helps me. So I'm doing cycle 1 still, and I just it was really helpful. I went through all the rubrics, and I had the table. So on the left side, I had what I needed to accomplish for each rubric, and on the right side, I just filled it out with like what I'm going to include in my lesson plan to help my FS1, 2, and 3 and all that. So ideas were just flowing, and I've just been able to write really, really well, and like things are connecting. So it's helpful, I think, being in the second semester of this program, having been through a lot of instruction with the university, and then knowing my kids pretty well. I feel like now that I'm like really hitting like all the steps with my writing. Things are connecting, and I feel really confident and ready to submit it next week, which I wasn't at that place last week, but I'm at that place now.
Very good. And Ellie, thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And I like your voice. I like what you're doing. And, you know, stay the course, my
Thanks.
sister. Just keep pushing forward. Okay.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you will. Thank you so much. I appreciate your voice. Brother Zachary and then Nina. Zachary, how are you?
Doing great. Quentin, how are you?
I'm very well, Zachary. Thank you for asking. Talk to me, Zachary.
Yeah, so last week on Friday, I finished recording for my last video.
Cool.
So I'm excited about that. My first CalTPA, I filmed 3 different times because I made mistakes multiple times. But I'm hoping I learned from this time. I need to review all my videos still and make sure I caught everything I needed to. But something I kind of tweaked a little bit this time around so I could catch myself. I copied and pasted like a bunch of stuff from the CalTPA instructions onto my rubric for the week. So like for my schedule for the week, right? So I have like right there when I go to teach my lesson and stuff, I see exactly what I need to hit for the CalTPA, and I can remember to do those points on the video.
Very good. And you know what? Setting up things like that and even talking with your students in advance, that's a win, and it adds to your level of success. Very good, Zachary. And Zachary, thanks for your voice. Good to hear from you, man. I really, really appreciate you, okay?
Thank you. Same here.
Thank you. Nina, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you too. I am tired. How are you? I'm absolutely with Moises and Ellie. It's so much and so overwhelming to try and do everything at the same time. I think I finished recording today. It kind of did not go as well, but I hope that I have 5 minutes where I didn't mess up. Yeah, I think it's just a lot, just writing. I feel like I'm at that point where every time I open it to write stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't work on this anymore. But then I'm like, okay, you have to just write 1 sentence at a time. So I don't know, for a second I was playing with the thought of just, because it's so stressful, if I could just finish it this weekend and submit it next week, because there's one deadline next week where I was like, I just need this to be off my to-do list, but I don't know. At the same time, I also don't want to rush it. So
yeah, I would say, yeah, you know, you're going to have to do what's best for you, but I want you to know I hear you. Okay. All right. Well, Nina, I got to tell you, it's nice to hear your voice. I appreciate the energy and, you know, the questions and everything you bring to the classroom. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And someone had put in the chat, they were asking, was it 4 videos or 5 videos? First, there's 4 videos. Okay. There's clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, and clip 4. And then when you run around to step 4, then there's another video. Okay. So keep that in mind. At the end of the day, you're going to be producing 5 videos. And that 4th video coming from step 4, you're going to be explaining that other, whatever you choose to do, you're going to be explaining that out. Yes, Sam, a video in step 4. All right, is everyone with me? And I know you don't want to talk, and this is Zoom, but can you just give me a thumbs up? I need to feel a little validated. I'm trying to check in and do this informal assessment to really see if you're okay and if everyone is feeling comfortable, if everyone has, you know, some tools to work with that maybe you didn't have before, you know, just to help clarify. I'm really very concerned about you, and I want to make sure you're in a good place. And that's what this is tonight, just a major check-in with my family. Anyone else? Any other thoughts? Daniel, thank you. Any other thoughts? Any other voices?
Just one last thing.
Brendan, hold on 1 second, brother. So you're gonna go after Crystal, okay? So hold on, Brendan, hold that thought, okay? Crystal Garcia, how are you, young lady?
Quentin, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
So guys, I just want to share with you guys. So I will be starting mine this weekend, which I know it's kind of late. So I don't know if I'm the only one on that boat. Hopefully there's one. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully all of you guys have started and jumped on it. But so I'm just starting. So there's that. So there's that reassurance. And I've also been meeting with other people to work together because that community just makes you feel a little bit better that you're not alone. So if you're right now feeling that you're alone, maybe try to connect with somebody so you guys can get together, and it's also just more motivating. But that's where I'm at. So just starting Saturday. So yes.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. Good to hear your voice. And now, Crystal, again, I'll throw this same language out. Do you feel safe? You feel comfortable? Do you feel like you have tools to work?
Yes, all the tools, they're in this handy dandy binder, and I just got to sit down and grind. So yes, thank you.
Very good. Thank you for your voice. It's very nice to hear from you, Crystal. Brendan, talk to me.
All right, I was just asked about submission. Let's say we were able to get the cycle 2 material done before the deadline. Should we try to submit early or submit with the rest of the class?
You know what? You know, my thing is, ultimately you're going to do what's best for you. But my thing is, let it, stew over it, take a look at it, make sure it's tight, make sure you've had, people that you want to read it, take a read through it. If you feel like it's ready to rock, then, you do you. But keep in mind, there is that submission date. So you're going to have to make that decision. And I can't guide you on that's you. And I want you to do what's best for you.
Yeah, I'm already having it looked over by others, but I'm saying, like, once all that was done, like, if I should submit with everyone else or if I could submit on my own.
You can submit on your own. Yes, you can submit on your own, brother.
Okay, I can do that.
And when you do submit, I'll know. I'll know. The minute you log in, I'll know. All right. Thank you for your voice, Brendan. Anyone else? One thing I don't ever like to do with grad students is call people out. It's not, you have to be wanting to engage with me, and then I'll engage. I don't want to start calling on people. What about you, so and so? It's like, don't. Are there any questions on any of the steps? And here's what I'm going to do. Starting next week, I'm going to start over. We're going to start over again at step 1, or starting to get real specific and real narrow for people around certain things. So let's Danielle talk to me, and then after Danielle, I'm gonna go to Isabella. Daniela, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you today?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you for asking.
So I was actually having a discussion with Isabella in the chat, and I'm betting she's going to be asking about the same thing. So we were talking about the 2 rubrics, the one for the formal assessment and how it's different from the self-assessment. My understanding of it is the formal assessment is literally just about that formal assessment itself, the product essentially. And then I think the rubric for the student self-assessment, am I correct in understanding that it's supposed to be assessing how are the students reflecting on their own learning and how do they perceive their own meeting of goals?
Exactly.
And the content of it? Okay.
Right. It's a straight up, self-assessment. And then when they do that self-assessment, they have a rubric that's attached with that. And what they're doing is evaluating on whether they got, quote, the lesson, the learning goals. And you're building that self-assessment and letting them engage in it so that there can be dialogue and structure and meaning behind that process. Okay. And then that rubric goes with that self-assessment, okay, with them evaluating and checking on themselves and their ability to meet. And, do they feel like they met or did the work or got things that were put out by the teacher? And then the formal assessment is basically, it's almost in a sense of you checking on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Did you do this lesson well enough so that these students can be successful? You feel me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can use both assessments to inform whether or not you need to reteach or extend
Mm-hmm.
based off of, even though they're talking about different parts of the learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
it's still talking about more of just, you know, focusing on, okay, this is what I wanted them to get. Did they get it? And then did they think they get it?
Right. And that comes up.
Things on that.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And one thing that I want people to constantly, remember is that self-assessment in that rubric, and then you have a formal assessment in that rubric. Okay.
They're two unique rubrics.
Yeah. Don't try.
They're not identical.
Yeah, they're different. They're different. I mean, they may have, different. They're different. They have different pieces. One may be, I don't want to get into that, but they're two separate rubrics. One dealing with the self-assessment and a rubric, the formal assessment and the rubric. And I just want people to know that when you shove that into the window, CTC is going to be looking for a student self-assessment and a rubric that's attached with that. And they're going to be looking for a formal assessment and a rubric that's attached with that. Don't try to cut corners. Give them what they asked for, okay? All right. And Daniela, thank you so much for your voice. Was that it?
Yeah. Let's see. I thought I had another question about that, but I'll see if it comes back up. I think I totally forgot. No worries. Thank you.
That's cool. It's nice to hear your voice. Thank you, Daniela. Isabella, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Okay. So yes, I answered my question. I just am going to kind of maybe ask a little bit more about the rubrics. I know it's kind of getting redundant, but this is how I set it up, where I allowed my students to go ahead and write their formal assessment. So I gave them what I was looking for. So topic, sentence, are you using the content? Are you able to follow directions and make sure that you're writing the length of the paragraph according to what I'm asking? Mm-hmm. And then I had them reflect on those aspects. Would that be them assessing themselves on those aspects within that rubric for the formal assessment?
Why are you having them assess themselves in your formal assessment?
Because I thought that's what it was, reforming them or reflecting on their performance on the formal assessment. Like, how did they feel that they understood the topic?
You're asking, is that coming up in their self-assessment or is it in your formal assessment?
So they're self-assessing their performance on their formal assessment.
Let me just, I don't want to complicate this. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to, I don't want to complicate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the guide and I'm going to go on page 2 of cycle 2, and I'm going to read informal assessment, student self-assessment, and the formal assessment. And one thing I don't want to do is get into this thing and get everybody confused. There's 48 people here, and I want to make this as clean and as bite-sized as possible. And I want to keep referring to the guide, because that's the tool that we have to build this. And I think that's the best way for me to engage in this process with 48 people here. All right. So perfect. Yeah. And thank you so much, Isabella. So the informal assessment refers to observing and documenting student learning and adjusting instruction to provide in the moment feedback to the students while you are teaching. Informal assessment may involve a range of strategies. For example, purposeful questioning to check for understanding during the lessons. And this is something that all of you know, okay? The second one is observation notes taken by the teacher while the students are engaging in lessons, okay? The next one, student peer review and critique. The next one, student and group reflection on the qualities of product, procedures, or performance. And the last one, under informal assessment, student-centered presentations of learning, written work, visuals, graphic models, products, performance, homework, warm-up activities, and exit slips. That's all part of your informal assessment. So when you talk about informal assessment, and they ask you to describe which one you're using, be able to describe that out for the CTC reader. And this should be your bread and bones. Somebody say, I'm reading off of page 2 in cycle 2, performance assessment guide. It may be on your page 3, but there's a table of contents, and then there's acknowledgements, and then there's overview, and then there it is. And now the student self-assessment, here I go, refers to a student critiquing their own learning based on the student self-assessment rubric and objectively objectively reflecting on and critically evaluating their progress and academic development in the content area. That's the self-assessment. Did I get there? Okay, I'm going to read it again because it's so short. Student self-assessment refers to a student critiquing their own learning based on the student self-assessment rubric. They go hand in hand, okay? And objectively reflecting on and critically evaluating their progress and academic development in the specific content area. When you think about building your self-assessment, it needs to bite right into this language. You don't need to do anything different. It needs to fit right in that language. Okay? Now, I'm going to read the formal assessment. It refers to collecting and analyzing the student assessment results to provide information about the student's current level of achievement of performance after a period of content-based learning has occurred in the classroom. Results of formal assessments are used to plan further instruction and provide detailed feedback to the student to direct growth and development based on content-specific learning of the instruction. Formal assessment use a rubric that is shared with the student prior to the assessment to gauge and evaluate student achievement or demonstrate performance. A formal assessment requires the student to demonstrate the extent to which they have gained specific content knowledge, skills, ability, and competencies through a product, process, or performance. And we shouldn't be doing anything different from that. And this should be your guide when you're developing those 2 assessments and the rubrics that are attached with those assessments, and when you talk about and describe what type of informal assessment you are going to use. It's cricket quiet. Isabella?
Yeah, I understand the differences in the assessments. Like have a full grasp of that.
Okay.
My original question was just, is the student self-assessment, are they assessing themselves on their understanding of the content or their performance of the formal assessment? That's my initial question.
On the content.
Okay. So with that being said, would it be bad if it is in relation to the formal assessment? Because I've already filmed with that understanding. So am I going to have to re-film? That's all I'm asking.
No, you're not going to have to refilm.
Okay, because I just presented, here's the student self-assessment, here's the rubric that I am grading you on, then you need to fill out your self-assessment based on your performance.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all I was asking. Sorry, it was very confusing on how to get it out, but like, there's a lot.
Okay, you're good, Isabella.
Okay, thank you.
And thanks for being patient, okay?
No worries, thank you.
You're awesome. Brother Nicholas, how are you?
Hi, Quentin, I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
I'm well, thank you for asking.
I just have I think mine is an obvious question, but on the learning segment portion of the TPA in step 1, I noticed at the very bottom of the table, of the template that we fill in, it says something around the lines of, based on how this lesson went, like if it was lesson 1, for example, like based on how this went, what type of changes would you have to make to the second one? So,
right.
And so basically, we can't fill that square until after we have taught that particular lesson. Is that how it works?
That's how it works. Yeah. It sounds like, you know, you've taught it.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do different? What changes would you make? Yeah.
Because I don't have it in front of me, but it seems like, you know, what changes would you make to the next lesson?
Right. How would you adjust or up? Would you adjust it up?
Yeah.
Would you adjust it down? Would you, you know, those kinds of things, you know? Do you need to go slower? Do you know, okay, go on.
Yeah, because it seems like because I filled out everything else on top of it, like the learning strategies and everything. So like that very bottom one, I haven't filled that out yet because I think, okay, well, obviously I can't fill this out until I see how this first lesson goes. And then I was like, okay, so obviously for the next lesson, I'll have to adjust this. I mean, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it in the right order. Yes.
It sounds like you are doing it in the correct order.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's always nice to hear your voice, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Okay. Nina, hey.
Hi, I actually have a question for, I'm trying to find it right now. So this is the second writing, so the learning segment. It sometimes asks, I'm trying to find it. Okay, so it asks for ELD for any English learners and standard English learners in your class and ALD for all students. But then the next question says adaptations for English learners, standard English learners. So what I'm running into is that to me sometimes feels like the same thing. Can you clarify maybe?
And then where you reading, Nina?
So this is in the templates. So the second template, the B segment.
So you know, why don't you allow me to engage with that and then connect with you?
Okay.
Okay. And do me a favor, Nina. Can you just kind of send me just a little email and say, hey, Quentin, take a look at this in this template and then get back with me. And then allow me to pull that template up and then I'll connect with you like one-on-one. Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nina. So send me that email, okay? And I'll respond to you tomorrow. All right. Anyone else? Did anyone need any recap on step 4? Excuse me. Yeah, step 4. How did that feel to you? Did it feel clean and clear? I won't put any comments on my thoughts in it, but how did it feel to you? Did it feel like, okay, this makes sense, I can do this? And you know what you're doing with that video, and you know where the annotations are for that video as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna let's go to video clip 4. So I'm on page 19, okay? And at the top of it, it reads video clip 4, all right? And on this one, you're doing and or an or, you're doing either or. But when you turn to the next page, on page 20, it shows the annotation titles: assessing student learning and developing of academic language, students using educational technology, providing content-specific feedback to students, assessing student learning and use of age and or developmentally appropriate higher order thinking skills. Okay, those are the annotations you'll be working with when you do video clip 4. Okay, and on the annotations, it says your annotations are, you know what they are brief selections, highlight. Use each of the 4 annotations at least once across the 4 video clips. Across the 4 video clips for each annotation, you will. You know what? I apologize. Please forgive me. Scratch all of that. I was on the wrong part. Okay, scratch all of that. Take that. The juries didn't hear that. So go to page 25 and scratch everything you just heard. What I'm going to do is talk to you about the annotations for the 4th video, which is
the reteaching video, right?
Yeah, the reteaching video. And so that's over on page 25. It reads step 4, apply. And the evidence that you're going to be submitting are 1 video, okay? Just 1 video. And I wanted to just talk about the annotations. And they give you, over on page 28, they give you the annotation titles. Follow-up instructions where learning occurred. Provide an annotation to the video clip to indicate where in the activity your new instructional approach, here's the first annotation, created the opportunity for your student to continue progress in understanding or learning in a new way. Or the other annotation is build on the understanding or learning your students were able to demonstrate during the learning segment. Those are the 2 annotations, either or, that you're going to be using for that last video in step 4. This will be your 5th video, okay? And those are the annotations that you can use, one or the other, okay? So it's not requiring a lot. It's just, you're going to do the explaining, and then you're going to use one or the other of those annotations. And I apologize for me looking at the wrong page earlier. This one is step 4, apply, page 25, and the annotation that you can use are on page 28. All right. Are there any questions? Nina.
Sorry.
What are you sorry for? Talk to me.
I have a question. So for example, for the video, sorry, this does relate to this in terms of videos. I know that they have to be under 5 minutes.
Right.
But
No, okay. They can be up to 5 minutes. They can be under, but your maximum is 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering about, what would you say is the minimum you should have? For example, for the technology lesson, that's literally just students working on their own. Do they need that to be 5 minutes? But I don't want to show too little. What do you think would be like a happy, okay, this is long enough to show enough, but.
And again, Nina, that's a very good question, but that's going to have to be up to you. Because one thing I don't want to do here, I don't want to say, oh, it's great that you stop at 3 minutes. And then everybody's going to go, Quentin said we can stop at 3 minutes. You know, I want you have to be the adult in this matter. And what I'm going to tell you is your video is up to 5 minutes and you can't go a penny over that. And so I want to refrain from saying, oh, 4 minutes is good, Nina, and that's enough. I don't want to do that because that's not fair and it's not responsible on my part. You have to know what the parameters are, and then you have to act accordingly. Okay. You can do a video that's 1 minute. You can do a video that's 2 minutes. You can do a video that's 3 minutes. You can do a video that's 3.5 minutes. You can do a video that's 4 and 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You have to make that decision.
Okay.
And I think that's the best way for me to respond to that. And thank you for your voice. Anyone else? We have a few more classes together online, and then we're going to shift to meeting on the ground. And we'll talk next week when, again, we'll just recap when those classes are. But when we get together next week, I mean, I'm willing to, to start over and to start fielding very, very tight and narrow questions for people. But one thing I'm going to tell you is do what they ask you to do in the guide. Do not make up your own stuff. Do not do anything less. Do what they ask you to do. Follow the rubrics that we discussed on level 3 and do it for the reader. Do your work for the individual who is going to be reading what you submit. That's where your success lies. It lies in that clarity and that clearness that the reader gets when they read through your information. And then I'll say this last thing, I'll let you go. You are all educators, you are future educators, you're in the game. Use academic language. Write like a teacher and connect all these pieces. Everything is connected. Nothing is separate and standing on its own. All right. Use Bloom's technology for some language. Okay. That's all I can say. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I really don't want to I don't want you to feel like I haven't been responding to you or trying to really bite into this slowly and clearly. I'm just hoping that it's working for you. And I'm trying to do my informal assessment. I understand it's late and you're tired, but if you need me, hit me up. If some people want to do together a small group of maybe 3 or 4 or 6 people on a specific thing, send me an email, send me some names, let me know, and I will make that happen. All right. All right, guys. What's this?
One quick question, Quincy.
Yeah, talk to me, Moises.
It might be kind of like might be helpful to maybe send like a survey to see where everyone's at. Like when we meet in person, we can all kind of organize ourselves around like where we're at. Because some people are on the first cycle TPA, other people on the second cycle, and just suggestion maybe to back it up.
Well, when we meet together in person, it's going to be my objective to put people in these groups. So I'll do that assessment, and then, and people can work together and collaborate and talk and go back and forth and share documents. And that's what I plan to do when we show up in person. And I think that is going to be a very meaningful and useful way to use our time.
Are you going to be sporting a mask, Quentin?
Tal vez sí, tal vez no seguro.
Pues a ver, ahí vamos. Gracias. Thank you.
All right, little brother.
Take it easy, man.
Nicholas, and then Brendan, and then I'm going to send everybody home, basically.
Just quickly. So are we still on Zoom next week?
I think we have a few more Zoom classes. I think like 3 or 4, something like that. So yeah, and I sent those dates out. I'll go back to them, but we have a few more Zoom classes, and then we roll over to being together. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Brendan, walk us out of this.
All right. I see, like, the one piece of advice I would like to ask for is, I have been told just when teaching that maybe I'm speaking a little bit too fast. Just how do you catch on to like your cadence? Like right now, am I speaking quickly or am I speaking okay?
You know what, Brendan? You are the most wonderful guy I know. Let's take this offline, okay?
Okay.
Anyway,
Alrighty.
Anyway, I want to tell you all, I want you to know I understand where you are. I feel you. If you need me, let me know. And I'm willing to do whatever I can to help really get this, make it a clearer picture for you. So hit me up, we'll go from there. For now, have a great evening. It's very nice seeing all of you, and we'll keep building together, all right? Take care, people.
Thanks for serving us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Ellie. Thanks for your voice tonight.
Bye, Quentin. Thank you.
All right, take care of yourself.
Everyone else.
Thank you.
Hey, Selena, won't you hold back for a minute, okay?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. I wanted to apologize for not being mute when I joined the meeting, but
oh no, get out of here.
I was here listening, so thank you. Hope you have a great night.
You're awesome, brother. Take care of yourself, okay?
Thanks. Take care.
Okay, bye. Hey, Selena.
Yes.
So you sent me that email, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then I went back and had a big powwow about your email, and so here's the dealio. Yeah, you know what, Selena? Tell you what, when you have my number, right?
I do.
Yeah, do me a favor, hit me up, call me, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna be waiting for your call. All right, folks, I'm gonna let you go. And really good seeing you. Alex, are you there? No, he's not there. Okay, guys, take care. I'll talk with you later, okay? Bye. Take care, Kyle. Nice to see you, brother. Michelle, you doing okay?
See you.
Okay, Christopher, you good? All right, I'm gonna sign out. Take care. Oh, Brendan, you know, dude, the best thing to do is record yourself and then play it back, and you can be the judge. That's what I always do. I record myself, and I've learned to slow down based on me, lay something out, read it, or have something that you're engaging in someone with in conversation, record it, play it back, and you're going to go, dang, I was talking way too fast. And then do it again and slow it down, and you'll see the difference, and you're going to buy into one of those. Okay. That's what I've done. And that's how I've learned to slow it down and engage with people through the process. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. My mentor teacher has told me that I'm improving each class, but, just to work on my cadence, just, slow it down. So
okay.
I'm just trying to practice that a bit right now.
Okay. Okay. You do that and take care. Okay.
Okay. You have a good night.
Okay. Take care. Nice seeing you.
All right. Bye.
AJ, how you doing, brother? You good? All right. I'm signing out, folks. Take care.